We have Lillo Brancato here with us today, formerly known as Calogero Nello from our classics favorite, A Bronx Tale. So we all know how iconic A Bronx Tale was and still is to this day for many reasons, but specifically for the relationship that your character had with Jane Williams, portrayed by Charles Hicks. A true relationship that made people see what loving outside the lines was in such a big way. Now, when you were first casted as C, did you know from the start that his love interest was going to be a Black woman?
I did, yes. I mean, because I heard about the film way before I actually got a chance to audition, because it was like an open call audition, like, so there were kids like throughout the 5 boroughs auditioning for that role. So, and I heard about, what the story was about and the whole thing. And, I thought to myself, this would be cool if I ever got a chance to read, because people always told me that I looked like Robert De Niro, and I thought I would be a good fit to play his son.
Yeah, okay. So now, how did you feel about that, being as young as you were, with this being shot over 25 years ago? Was it common for you to see interracial relationships at that time?
No, it was not.
No,
it was not. I grew up around a lot of Italian Americans, and that's not common.
Yeah.
It's just not common. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Being so young, you were about 15, 16, right?
I was 15, July 5th, 1992, the day I was discovered on the beach. But then August 30th, like not even, like almost 2 months later, I turned 16.
Okay. So being so young for you, what did that mean for you? Like, was this your first, like, relationship, even though it was on camera? Like, how did you feel about entering that world?
I was really nervous. It was really nerve-wracking to have been given this responsibility.
Yeah.
This is Robert De Niro's directorial debut. So obviously he's going to put a lot into it, and this is going to be remembered forever. And he is and was my idol. So there was just so many things going on at once, so many different emotions. So I didn't really think about it I just thought about it as I have to do my best to make it work, to make the audience watch that and say, like, wow, that was cool. Like, and they did, so.
Yeah, no, you definitely
And one, of course, Charles Hicks was tremendous, who, by the way, is still a very good friend of mine. Very good friend of mine. Like, I just talked to her like last week. She's like top notch. Like, really, I mean, I'm not just saying it because I was in the movie with her. Like, to this day, like when I talk to her, even if we don't talk, it's like we were when we were like, she's a little older than me. Yeah, I'm 16, she was like 17. She was a little older than me. And back then, that 1 year means a lot.
Oh yeah, it does.
But she's like aces with me. I love that girl. She's a great girl. She's married. I see her like when we do like appearances and stuff like that, because we're better together. You know what I mean? Seeing Jane, and she brings so much to it. And she's like really cool. It's really great to see her when I do.
So, what was the reaction you got from your family, your friends, and even fans about C and Jane's relationship? Because I know growing up, you had Italian parents straight from Italy, and growing up with that culture, were there any strong reactions to having this relationship?
No, not at all.
No?
It was a movie. It was a film. So nobody looked at it. They were just more so like, it was just, just the fact that I'm going to be in that movie, because we all heard about it. It was like such a big thing throughout the Bronx, Yonkers, Brooklyn. Like, it was like on the radio, on TV, like they were really looking for this kid to play De Niro's son. So they would, you know what I mean? So just the mere fact that I landed the role, it doesn't matter what it was about.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. Did you feel that you learned any significant lessons from C and Jane's relationship? Because C, he was very bold in the way he cared about her, and toward the end of the movie, he didn't care if she was black, blue, purple. He just, very cared about her, and specifically in that scene where he tells the woman, mind your business, get back in the window. Like, I love this girl. Who are you?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you learned anything and carried that with you throughout your life?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. The thing that I learned the most was that love is blind. It doesn't matter. Like I'm not trying to say that Italians are bad people either,
Yeah.
but just growing up in an Italian culture, that stuff really, you don't see it. It just doesn't exist, you know? So then to like, because at that age, at 16 years old, you're very impressionable, so it's like you still haven't gotten to the point where the road ends and now you got to go this way. You make the decision. Do you go right or do you go left? So at that point I was still learning things and I hadn't reached that point. Which way do I go? I was still getting there. So I was learning a lot, and I learned that, love is blind.
So, I don't know if I'm speaking just for myself as a fan or not, but I believe anyone watching A Bronx Tale could clearly tell when C and Jane had a scene together, the audience could sense how special that moment was between the two characters, whether it was them seeing each other on the bus for the first time or him walking her home. How did you feel about those scenes as watching the movie and also being that character?
I know when we did those scenes, I was very nervous because it's not just a scene with your friends, but like I said before, the main objective is to get the audience to believe what you are both doing and what you are trying to do, and that's you're trying to show the audience that you both care about each other, and through this dialogue that is written for you to say, you have to convince this audience that you do like each other and that there is something, and the audience will see that. So it's like when you're doing these scenes, like for a little bit of me, I put myself into the shoes of the audience. What can I do right now that's going to really, be the most effective for the audience,
Yeah.
But I was very nervous for those scenes. She's great to work with, so just made things easier. And I think that everything turned out pretty good.
Oh, yes, it did. How did you feel about the scenes that were just as intense but made the audience see the realistic reaction in the setting of an interracial relationship based in the 1960s, such as the scene after you walk her down Webster Avenue and they're kicking glass at your feet, the scene where you pick her up, you go in Sonny's car, you pick her up and you're all excited, and then she confronts you about beating up her brother and then you call her brother the N-word, or even you drop her off after all your friends get blown up and then they're still calling her a bitch, and you're like, my friends just died,
Yeah.
So how did you feel about those scenes that just gave that intensity of like, if we were in the 1960s, this is how it would have been?
It's almost like scary. You know what I mean? It was scary for the both of us. It was very divided. And I think Robert De Niro, I think he captured that beautifully in both places, and it was just like I didn't live or see these things in my own life, but through the film, and the character was my age, it was like I was going through those things vicariously through the film, and it may as well have happened because it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like it was real, but it wasn't real.
Yeah, definitely scary. Did he ever tell you why it was so important to do this relationship in this time? Was there any specific way he described to you and Jane that you guys are going to be feeling this, or you have to convey this certain emotion because you guys are an interracial relationship in the movie?
Well, Robert De Niro's thing was less is more.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't really mention all that because sometimes I feel that, I don't know, you get like these some filmmakers and some directors, they just make too much of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, come to direct me, and we're doing a scene that's nothing. It's a guy walking in, I really want you to think about it. It's like, dude, what's there to think about? Dude, it's two people walking down the street. I ask them 2 questions, I get in the car and I leave. So and I just think Robert De Niro, less is more. Just think of what it is. He would say things like that, less is more, and think of what it is.
Yeah.
And it's simple direction, but it's think of what it is. This is what it is. Like when they start, this was the 1960s. And here you are in this Italian neighborhood with this African American girl, and everyone is gonna see you, and they're gonna go, so I really want you to learn. Now it's like, you were nervous already, now you got all this other direction of such a fine line that you have to tread to come across the way. It's just like, listen, you like the girl. As a director, I would say, listen, you like this girl. I don't give a shit if she's black, white, or green. You like her for who she is. So that's all I care about. So I want you to show me and everybody that's gonna watch this movie that you like her. And I'm gonna tell her the same thing. Let us believe that you like this person in that way, more than just a friend. That's all I would say.
Yeah, because I know that you said that he was very less is more, but when he liked you, he chose you over who originally shot Sonny, right? They chose you over that guy, and they chose you because you had such an ease into C. You had such of course you were 15 and you had a lot of weight on your shoulders, but there was definitely a naturalism into the character that
right,
you
well,
had.
the main reason I think they chose me over that guy, who also is still my very good friend, Phil Carmarino. And that's just coincidence, because I don't talk to really anybody from back then, but I do talk to Terrell. I talk to Crazy Mario. I talked to Terrell, I talked to Crazy Mario, I talked to guy who shot Sonny.
Well, a lot of them had that. This was 27 years ago.
Yeah.
Some of them had to pass away. Jimmy Whispers,
he's around. Jimmy Whispers. I got a voicemail.
We go to the Bronx, we'll see him whispering people.
Yeah. I was 16 the day we started shooting. That kid was 21. Okay, so like, you're trying to make this movie about this young kid who's wet behind the ears. He's coming up. He's very impressionable. You have his father and you have Sonny. So this kid's like, doesn't know where to go. So it's like, it works better when the kid's younger. At 21, it's like you've already kind of decided in which direction you want to go.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
More so. I'm not saying that you're done deciding.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna be like, this is it forever now at 21, because stuff changes. What I'm saying, like, I think at 16 it works better. The story works better.
Yeah.
I think a 21-year-old.
Like, you have that freedom.
Yeah, but a 21-year-old kid is just, because then the kids, his friends would have all been older too. It would have been a different movie. The girl.
Yeah.
It would have been a whole different movie. It wouldn't have worked as well.
Yeah, definitely that innocence was so precious and important to the film. Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, no doubt.
I agree with you. Now, again, I believe that people could feel the magic from certain scenes, if not all of them, but specifically the scene where Jane and C share their first kiss and her passing the door test right after, where she officially becomes the great one. How did it feel to shoot that specific scene, and what do you feel it added to the movie?
Well, first of all, it's the first kiss. So, you know what I mean? So, I guess just two people agreeing to kiss. I guess the feelings are mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was the first scene maybe where we could see a little more of who we really were, and then that door test thing was like huge, because it's simple. It's very true. That's like, when someone's like, that's an extension of who she is. Then she's a selfish broad, just like he said, and all you're seeing is the tip of the iceberg, right? Because that's an extension. So now that also extends into this, into this, into this, and all this other bullshit, you know? But she was shown she was a solid girl. It was a great scene, like, because now, like, she passed the test. So now, not only is she good with him, she's good with, he's gonna go back and say, Sonny, she passed the test. Well, he told her when she was dead.
Yeah.
When he was dead.
Yeah.
But that was something that, and then he knew he would have gotten Sonny's blessing. So that was a big, big scene.
Yeah.
That was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because definitely you could see him when C was shaving when you were shaving, and his father just somehow knew, like, who told you it was okay to be with this girl? And you were like, I don't care about it. And then to have Sonny's blessing, that must have been really big for him. So, yeah, I could see that. And were you aware of how this relationship between C and Jane would become such a big staple in cinema, and the relationships, specifically interracial, that show Loving Outside the Lines still to this day from 1993 to 2020? Like, did you know how big it would be?
Never. I don't even think De Niro did. The movie, I think that whole part of the movie is what made the movie what it is. But the gangster stuff, I mean, they've done that.
Yeah, but
They've done that. Goodfellas was a better gangster movie than The Bronx Tale. It was. If you want to just talk about a straight gangster movie, Chaz was great in The Bronx Tale. Nobody knew who he was prior to that. You really believe him as Sonny.
yeah,
Because he's like this fresh guy,
Yeah.
tall, slim dude, slick back hair.
Yeah,
See him shoot a guy right in the street. So you know he's for real. He's a hands-on guy. He went and
Yeah.
shot that guy right in the street
yeah,
over a parking space. What now? What? You know?
yeah,
So now, but the gangster stuff was good. You had the Sonny stuff. It was all great. But Goodfellas was a better gangster. But that's the reason why the film was able to transcend time. It's because of the interrelational relationship, which is like so prevalent now, and it will be. You know what I mean? It's like it is what it is. This is what it is. And because of that movie, taking that chance and doing that back then, it will live forever.
yeah, definitely.
You know, it will live forever.
What do you think it means to love someone outside the lines? To love someone outside the lines of society or the world or, you know, whatever we have in our current society today. What do you think that means to you, and what do you think it meant to see back then?
Well, to me, I don't even look at that kind of stuff. It's just like whatever. If I go out and I see a girl and she's attractive and she can make me laugh, that's the most important thing. She can make me laugh because, like, I like to laugh.
Yeah.
I think you can see a little bit that I like to be goofy and love to laugh. And that's
It's good. It's good for the soul.
Yeah, even when I was away. you
Yeah.
know. Like, that's why I don't like get killed, because I used to make people laugh. I'm a funny guy, for real. So, but I think for C, I mean, you know, he's probably didn't know what to feel. Because he likes this girl, it was so forbidden. He's 16 in the Bronx in 1968. He had a lot of trouble for that back then,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, I'm South American. I'm Colombian.
And you
There's people in my country that are darker than Africans.
Oh yeah, no.
You know, so I don't give a shit about color.
Yeah.
Some of my people are.
Yeah,
you know, it's what I love
definitely.
it, so.
Well, we love that you believe that and you're strong and proud of that. But thank you so much for being
My pleasure.
with us here
Thank you.
today, and we really appreciate it. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.